Hi, boys and girls. Good morning. Can we all get ready to do our read aloud? Can we just finish up what we're doing? I'm going to call you all one by one, but I'm going to call the quietest first. So get ready. Okay, row 1, come to the rug. Row 2, come over to the rug. Okay, spread out, everybody. I want everybody to be able to see. Row 3 and 4, you can come to the rug now. All right, everybody, settle in. All right. We're going to read a book today called Telling Time. The book shows us all different kinds of clocks and all the different ways in which we could tell time. So I'm going to need your help reading the digital and analog clocks that are in the book. And I'm also going to show you other ways in which we could tell time. All right. So the name of the book is called Telling Time. It's written by Jules Older and illustrated by Megan Halsey. What does an illustrator do? Yes. Yes, that's right. An illustrator, like, he does all the drawings. So they made the cover and they did all the illustrations within the book. So why do you think they put clocks all on the front cover? Right, because that's what the book is about. It's about telling time. And they put all different kinds of clocks in front. They put digital clocks, which is what you see on your computer. And you can also see digital clocks in your car. And they put analog clocks, which are manual clocks, in the front cover as well, because that's a different kind of clock. It's a little more difficult to read an analog clock. But we'll find that out later in the reading. Okay. Tick. When people talk about telling time, they don't mean, hey time, I've got something to tell you. No, telling time just means saying what time it is, and by the end of this book you'll know how to tell what time it is. But to learn how to tell time, shouldn't you know what time is? Here's what time is. Time is when things happen, and time is how long things take to happen. When things happen. I get up at 7:30 in the morning. These are all examples of when things happen. I start to eat lunch at 12. What time do you guys eat lunch? 12:30? Yep. So that's another time. We're going to the movies at 1. I drive my race car at 9. How long things take. It takes 2 seconds to brush a baby's tooth. It takes 2 minutes to brush my teeth. It takes 10 minutes to brush my dog. It takes 2 hours to clean my room. How many years would it take to clean up the world? So that's what time is. When things happen and how long things take. Okay, but why do we tell time? I'm so glad you asked. What other reasons are there for telling time? What do you think? We tell time to know maybe when our friends are coming over, or what time a movie starts and what time a movie ends, or maybe like what time our favorite TV show is. Can anybody give me another example? What time a party starts, or what time we have to go to an appointment, like a dentist appointment. All right, let's look at the pictures. Very good. All the illustrations. Well, time comes in chunks. Big chunks, big humongous chunks, and little chunks. Let's start with the shrimps, which are the little chunks. These come in seconds. The shortest little chunk is a second. Bet I can eat this whole chocolate bar in 5 seconds. The middle-sized chunk is a minute. There are 60 seconds in every minute. The longest time chunk is an hour. There are 60 minutes in an hour. I had so much homework, it took me a whole hour to finish it. We tell time, we tell the little chunks of time on our clocks and watches. A watch is just a clock you wear on your wrist. Oh, let's look at the pictures, guys. What other things do we use to tell time? We use calendars. We tell the big chunks of time on calendars. What's a calendar? It's that pretty picture with the numbers below it that hangs on the wall and the stacks of pages with numbers on them that sits on a desk. A calendar tells the days. Every day has a name on its own, of its own. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 7 days in a week. A calendar tells the months. Every month has a name of its own. A calendar tells the year, and a calendar tells the dates. What other things are calendars useful for? What else do calendars tell us? Anybody? Right, it tells the dates of people's birthdays. Anybody else? It tells holidays. Right, October, it tells you when Halloween falls. And November tells you what? Thanksgiving. And December tells you Christmas. What are the big chunks of time? Days, weeks, months, years, plus decades, centuries, and millennia. The shortest big chunk in a day, you know what a day is. Then comes a week. A week has 7 days. Then comes a month. A month has about 30 days and about 4 weeks. Then comes a year. How many days do you think are in a year, guys? Almost. Not 50. 365 days in a whole entire year. That's 12 months. In 12 months, there's 365 days, and that's a whole year. Then comes a decade. So we also can tell time according to our age. I'm a decade old. That's 10 years. A decade is 10 years. The baby says I'm less than 1 year old. So his age is measured in months. Want to know how old I am? I'm a whole century old. A century is 100 years. Okay, good. Okay. Calendars show big chunks, the days and months and all that. And clocks show the shrimps, seconds, and minutes and hours and all that. But how do clocks show the seconds and minutes and hours and all that? 2 ways. Digital and analog, which is what we spoke about in the beginning of the book when we looked at the front cover. We have the digital, which is easy. The hours are before the colon. So it's right here. What time do you think this is? This part shows the hours, and this part shows the minutes. So it's 12:30. And this clock over here is a little more difficult because it has 3 long hands. The shortest hand tells you the hour, and the longer hand tells you the minutes. So you want to learn how to tell time. Let's start with digital clocks. Use 2 sets of numbers. One set comes from before the colon and the other comes from after. The first number tells the hour, like we showed on the last page, and after the colon is where it shows the minutes on the digital clock. So here it's 6 o'clock, here it's 10 o'clock, and here it's 12 o'clock. The numbers after the colon, mark the minutes. How many minutes are there in an hour? 60. 60 minutes in an hour. So 3:15 is 15 minutes past 3 o'clock. Here's another clock. 3:15, 15 minutes past 3. 6:21 or 21 minutes past 6. Can anybody tell me what this is? What time does that digital clock say? 12:30 or half past 12, because why? How many minutes are there in an hour? $60 minutes in an hour, right? And this is half the minutes, so it's 30 minutes. So you could say half past 12. Very good. And the next two? Yes? 1:10 or 10 minutes past 1. And the last one, 11:45 or 45 minutes past 11. Good. All right, let's try this clock on this page. What time does it say? Here's the shorthands, and here's the longhand. Each increment is 5 minutes, and it goes all the way up to 60 because it takes 60 minutes to complete an hour. So let's look. What do you think it says? 2, and we go, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So it's 2:45. This clock is 2:45. And to complete the hour, we would just go 50, 55, 60. Okay. What about this clock? Here's another one. 5. And then we want to find out what the minutes are. It would be over here. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So right here, it's 5:35. Here's how to remember how each chunk of time works. 60 seconds makes a minute. 60 minutes make an hour. 24 hours make a day. 7 days make a week. 4 weeks and a little more make a month. 12 months make a year. 10 years is what? What do we learn about the little boy? 10 years is a decade, right? And how much is 100 years? A century. Very good. What about 10 centuries? That's like 1,000 years. A millennium. Very good. Here's a little poem to help you remember how long things take. 60 seconds makes a minute. There's a lot of seconds, isn't it? 60 minutes makes an hour, long enough to take a shower. 24 hours in a day, just how long I want to play. 7 days makes a whole week. A month is 4 weeks, sometimes more. I'd like to spend it at the shore. It takes 12 months to make a year. When New Year's comes, we'll give a cheer. 10 whole years a decade makes. I'd love to eat 10 decade cakes. A century takes a long, long time. 1 full year plus 99. 1,000 years is 1 million. Write me a letter if you can think of even one word that rhymes with millennium. You now know how to tell the time, so it's time to end this little rhyme. And this little book, too. Alright guys, that's the end of the book. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, great. I'm going to give you a worksheet with analog clocks. So I want to see if you can remember how to tell what time it is on them, just to reinforce what we just read so everybody understands.